Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. It's a PlayOn.com, PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Dublin High School in Dublin, California. I'm Joe Lahiv along with Todd Allen on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Miramonte Matadors against the host Dublin Gales. Miramonte comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 2-2, while the home team, Dublin, also has a 2-2 record. And we open up this first evening of league play for all teams. And here in the Dublin Foothill Athletic League, an interesting matchup as we have two former coaching staff mates, if you will, between Jack Schramm and head coach John Wade of Dublin. John Wade left 2 seasons ago to head over to Dublin and left Schramm to coach Miramonte, and he has done very well thus far. And we look at these two teams, and really a lot. You go through the 2-2 record, play a lot of teams, and kind of your preseason, kind of get a feel for these teams. What do these teams look to do, Todd Allen, coming into these games?
Well, Miramonte is pretty much on fire offensively, defeating Alameda 45-7 last week, and it really starts with Nick Sheehan, the quarterback, who whether it's running or passing, he's dangerous with the ball in his hands. And the other guy to watch is number 80, Zadie Williams. Last week he had 3 catches for 90 yards against Alameda and can take it to the house at pretty much any time. So Dublin, in order to stay with Miramonte, is going to have to focus on those 2 guys and keep them limited. On the Dublin side, Coach John Wade's 3-headed quarterback monster with Miguel Arroyo, Tristan Elias, and Josh Nobita. Here we go from
Dublin High School as the kickoff is fielded right around the 25-yard line. And it is tackled there at the 30-yard line is where they finally bring the runner down.
So both teams coming into this game coming off of big wins, and this is a huge way to kick things off in the Diablo Foothill Athletic League first game of the year.
30-yard line.
So going to work from their own 30-yard line are the Dublin Gales, as Tristan Elias going to be set at quarterback. Of course, behind him, their running back, Andre Rudolph, owner of 2 200-yard games and over 150 yards rushing per game. As he takes his first handoff up the middle, pushes up ahead, and gets about 3 yards.
Jonathan McDonald on the stop.
Dublin trying to establish the running game early, get Andre Rudolph going. He's going to have the ball early and often throughout this night.
Spotted at the 34.
It's Dublin bringing it up here. 2nd down and 5 from their own 34-yard line. Elias getting set under center. 3 backs behind him and whistles before the snap. A flag comes in from all over the place. And we have a false start to back him up 5 yards.
Procedure penalty against the Gales.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Dublin keeping it on the ground. It seemed like halfway through the national anthem, the wind started blowing and it hasn't let up. It might have an effect on some of the throws from the 3-headed quarterback monster from Dublin.
As Elias bringing the play back in from the sideline, they get set here for this 2nd down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. He gets set with 1 receiver up to the top of the formation, taking a snap, dropping back. He hands it off to Rudolph, working towards the right side, crossing the 30, down the sideline to the 40, uses a stiff arm as he gets out of bounds. And Andre Rudolph with the 1st down.
Real nice run there from Rudolph, getting the ball outside, bouncing it, tiptoeing down the sidelines for a 1st down for the Gales. Looks like Michael Turner a little bit with that short, stocky body, 5'9", 220-pound senior running back.
13 on that last run by Rudolph. 1st and 10 for the
So
Gales.
1st down here for the Gales as they get set up on the 43-yard line. They line up. 1 receiver down to the bottom of the formation. And there's a whistle there. A bit of confusion with the offensive line. Another penalty here is going to go against Dublin.
False start penalty against the Gales. That'll back him up.
The big nose tackle Spencer Hawley, number 55, was lined up in the backfield on that play. Wonder if they're going to run power to his side of the field, getting extra linemen in the backfield.
So setting up now 1st and 15 from their own 38-yard line as the Gales get set here. Elias going to hand it off again to Rudolph. Tripped up from behind. He pushes forward, is able to eke out a yard before he's brought down. 2nd down upcoming.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to break that tackle, but as I mentioned, number 55, Spencer Hawley in the backfield, coming up and just clean the clock of the Matador defender. Unfortunately, the rest of the defense was able to trap Rudolph before he was able to use that block.
The wind really did whip up, as you mentioned, during the national anthem, and continues to get stronger here. Blowing a bit towards the northeast as they get set here. 2nd down and 13 from their own 40-yard line. Handoff going again to Rudolph, pushing his way through the middle and diving forward. Looks like he got past the original line of scrimmage, plus about 3 more. And So a 3rd down and 7 upcoming.
Amazing to see big 55 playing fullback. Normally the nose tackle, 6'5", 285-pounder, not a bad man to run behind if you're Andre Rudolph.
That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Gales from their own 47.
So the Gales line up here, be 3rd down and 6. Elias taking the snap, hands off to Rudolph, hitting the backfield, breaks one tackle, pushes forward, and he's going to cross the line of scrimmage and maybe get about half a yard, setting up 4th down.
Great play by Steven Shepard, the junior, number 11, coming up and hitting him in the backfield, preventing the 3rd down conversion, and looks like Miramonte's going to have to, or excuse me, Dublin's going to have to punt.
Yeah. As Marshall Deutz back deep to receive it for Miramonte. And Dublin coming out, looks like Corey Thurman going to be punting it away here. Thurman takes a snap, works to his right, gets off a low liner kick. Deutz going to let it bounce, and he's going to let this one go. It's going to roll inside the 10 and take a terrific Dublin high bounce as it dies right around the 3-yard line. So a long field in front of Miramonte to go to work.
Down at the 3-yard line, a 50-yard punt by Corey Thurman.
Great 50-yard punt there by Thurman.
So Miramonte's first possession.
Miramonte's going to have to go 97 yards here on their opening possession.
And Miramonte working with their quarterback, Nick Sheehan, the 3rd-string quarterback, played JV ball as a freshman and a sophomore, then opted to play lacrosse as a junior, and then came back on the roster this year as a wide receiver and a defensive back, and also was listed as a 3rd quarterback. They had an injury to their original starter, Drew Anderson, as well as their 2nd backup, Max Fernbacher. That put Sheehan in. He has done nothing but light it up since he's been in the backfield at quarterback. He takes a snap here. He's going to hand it off. And it's Deutz working towards the right side. Down the right sideline he goes, marches ahead for about 8 yards, and he's out of bounds.
Yeah, Sheehan, you're right. It's been an unbelievable surprise here for Miramonte. The big senior quarterback, number 15.
And they quickly bring it up to the line once again. Sheehan getting set. 4 wide receiver set as you'll see them typically use. As he's waiting for the 2nd down snap, there's some motion on the offensive line. We'll see if he was drawn off sides by the defensive player. See, the referees go to talk this one over. And they will call encroachment against the defense. So push it ahead 5 yards. It was a 2nd down and 4 from the 9. Now sets up a 1st down and 10.
That'll give Miramonte an automatic 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Matadors from their own 14.
So Miramonte going to go quickly up to the line of scrimmage as soon as the sticks get set. 1st and 10. Ball on their own 14-yard line. In the shotgun, Sheehan setting a man in motion. Sheehan takes a snap, dropping back, looking left, throwing left, and that ball is tipped and reeled in for a catch. What a nice play as reeled in by Will Fuller.
Yeah, Will Fuller, the junior wide receiver, able to adjust to that ball while it was in the air and gets positive yardage out of it.
And they quickly go no huddle once again. Dublin getting their defense set as they're talking things over against his no huddle offense. They go 2nd down and 9, taking the snap. Sheehan throws towards his right. No completion. He overthrew his man, and flags come in on the late hit. As Shepard was hit pretty hard on that play near the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like number 7, Tristan Elias for Dublin, came up and hit the receiver. He was defenseless on the play, or so the referee is ruling. So that'll be 15 yards against the defense.
Yeah, they do call that personal foul there. To finish up the story on Nick Sheehan, his 1st game against Eureka, 18-28, 257 yards with 6 touchdowns. 2nd game against Anali, 383 yards for 2 touchdowns. And again, they lost in the final 2 minutes. 3rd game against Alameda, 2 touchdowns passes, 1 touchdown rushing in a 45-7 win. So Sheehan really, as a 3rd-string quarterback, as we mentioned, has been very impressive running this offense. He gets set here again, 1st and 10 from his own 30-yard line. Sheehan sending Deutz in motion. And taking the high snap, dropping back, stepping forward against the rush. He fires and he's able to complete it. It's Deutz near the 1st down marker, now running parallel. Gets across the 1st down marker up to the 45. He's thrown it out of bounds on the left sideline. And another 1st down for Miramonte.
Very impressive play there from Deutz, working open, and once he gets the ball in his hands, he's just as dangerous. Looked like a running back, escaping tacklers and getting out of bounds for another first down.
And again, Miramonte going no huddle, so we'll see if they're able to control the pace of this ball game with his no huddle offense. They get the call from the sideline from their coach and get everything lined up. You see the players checking their wristbands to see the formation called out. Sheehan set, 1st and 10. Again, he sends Deutz in motion. Taking the snap, dropping back. He fires towards the right side. This one's caught by Zadie Williams, juking a man. He works towards the sideline. About a 2-yard gain. He spins away, and he's finally pushed out of bounds.
You can see already how comfortable Nick Sheehan is. He's working the ball to all of his receivers. It really shows how comfortable a quarterback is when he's able to get a ball to several different players.
So they call a 1-yard gain, a 2nd down and 9 from their own 47. Sheehan getting set once again in the shotgun. Sheehan with a hard snap count. Now they look towards the sideline. They might change the play here. As Sheehan does call out the play to his receivers, now getting set, taking the snap, and he's going to hand it off. It's Connor Bruin, and Bruin working towards the right side, jukes back in, pushes up ahead, and he's up about a yard shy of the 1st down marker.
Connor Bruin, the ball carrier that time, brought down by Michael
Miramonte's offense, in the running in the pass, they're making significant yardage against this Dublin Gales defense that already has their hands on their hips. They're getting definitely winded a little bit by this fast-paced Miramonte offense.
Yeah, you know, we thought the wind as it kicked up might be a factor against the stronger passing team. So far, Miramonte on this drive not having issues. They get set with a 3rd and a long 2 as they send a man in motion, and they're going to hand it off. Working down the left side and diving forward for another 1st down is going to be Dominic Paoletti.
But the gain of 7 gives the Matadors a
running the end around, inside handoff to the man in motion, breaking a couple tackles. Getting the 1st down, another 1st down for Miramonte.
So Matadors get set here, 1st and 10. After Deutz goes in motion, Sheehan taking the snap. He's going to fling it out on the screen there to Deutz, working towards the right sideline. Fights up ahead. He's towards the 1st down marker. He falls forward, and he may have had that 1st down.
Sheehan's pass complete to Marshall Deutz.
A lot of these passes that Nick Sheehan is throwing are basically converted running plays. Lots of screens, lots of short, middle, nothing deep, nothing beyond 5 yards, but they're being very effective, moving the ball steadily into the Gales' side of the field here.
Yeah, you wonder if they're all setting it all up for a long shot here. They get set on a 1st and 10 from the Dublin 30-yard line. Sending a man in motion is Paoletti. It's a fake handoff. Sheehan keeping himself running forward, and he's going to fight ahead for about a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, Sheehan dangerous on the ground and through the air. Rushed 4 carries for 40 yards at an average of 10 yards a pop last week.
He also has a 28-yard touchdown run to his credit in that blowout win they had as he gets set here on a 2nd down and 4. So they stop and get the call from the sideline. Now Sheehan set again on this 2nd down play. Shepard the man in motion. And Sheehan with the option. He's going to keep it himself. Fumbles the ball. Players diving for it. Lots of red jerseys around, but Sheehan looked like he was able to cover it up.
There's that man again, number 55, Spencer Hawley. Been all over the field so far. He's coming out for a breather here. He certainly needs it, but a really nice tackle there, forcing the fumble on Sheehan.
So all told, a 1-yard gain on the fumble that Sheehan's able to recover. So 3rd down and 3 from the 23-yard line. After Shepard goes in motion, Sheehan takes a snap. He hands it off to Connor Bruin. Has room down the middle. It hurdles over a man and falls forward. He's got a 1st down plus a lot more as he's inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, big hole there. This Gales defense is having trouble finding where the ball is going. They're hitting him from all angles as Miramonte.
So 1st and 10, they mark it at the 12-yard line.
Look of bewilderment a little bit on this defense. They don't know where the ball's going.
Sheehan takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Deutz. Deutz has good blockers down the right side, works in towards the 10-yard line. He has hit hard, ball's out, and it looks like a Miramonte player is able to dive on it. And as Connor Bruin, he was able to recover it right around the original line of scrimmage and actually lost a 1.
Looked like the senior Mosin Brown got in there, caused the fumble for its second straight play, or play out of 3. Miramonte's lucky to get the ball back after the fumble.
So 2nd and 11 from the 13-yard line. Sheehan getting set. Bruin the back to his right. Sheehan takes his time getting things set. Now sends a man in motion at Shepard. Taking the snap, dropping back, fires over the middle, has a man running into the end zone. Zoddy Williams has a touchdown.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. Zoddy Williams just runs a quick skinny post. Sheehan hits him right in stride. Miramonte goes right through this defense for 97 yards for a quick 7-0 lead, or 6-0 lead going on 7 pending the extra point.
So Jamie Howells will be set to kick the extra point here for Miramonte and make it 7-0 here if he converts. The hold is down, and this is a good kick, a high archer through the uprights, and it's 7-0. Miramonte leads over Dublin. You know, going this game, you wondered if head coach John Wade would have had the upper hand. A former head coach of the Miramonte program moving over to Dublin thought he might have known this team and their system pretty well, but so far the first 2 possessions seems to be leaning the momentum towards Miramonte's way.
Yeah, very impressive drive there by the Matadors. And the Gales have this look of, geez, it's like they didn't see the film, they didn't see this coming at all. They had no answer, at least early on, for that 4-wide offense of the Matadors.
Well, now it's time Dublin can try to respond. Of course, Andre Rudolph, their good running back, he's able to wear defenses down, but Dublin's going to have to get some defensive stops there to have that strategy work. Of course, we'll see how Tristan Elias does. Their third quarterback in the system here.
Yeah, that's a good point, Joe. They're definitely going to have to slow this game down and control the time of possession. Keep this Matador offense off the field if they keep playing the way that they are.
So here's a kick by Howells. Rudolph and Chin back deep to receive, and it looks like it is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And so 20-yard line will be where Dublin goes to work. So 8 minutes of play, and we've seen a very good Miramonte passing attack. Dublin had a 3-and-out, now going into their second possession here and try to respond.
So after Jamie Howell's kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback, Dublin begins this possession 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line.
Referee whistles to start play, and Dublin's still in the huddle here. So Elias still getting the call from the sideline. So now they get set. 1 receiver up to the top of your screen. 3 backs again are behind Elias. Taking the snap, he's going to hand it off. It's Rudolph following his blockers, pushing up the middle and fighting his way forward. You see a lot of strength. You compared him in body type to Michael Turner, and you really see that lower body strength as he fights for 5 or 6 yards there on the play.
Yeah, the key to Miramonte today is gang tackling. They're not going to be able to bring him down with one defender. They're going to have to try to grab onto him and get help from the rest of the defense.
As they bring it up the line here, 2nd down and 4 from their own 26-yard line as Elias set under center again, hands it off once again to Rudolph, this time working behind left tackle, pushes zone man forward and runs his way up ahead across the 1st down marker, and he's got a long 1st down as he gets it up to his own 37-yard line.
Andre Rudolph finally able to use the good blocking to the left side and bouncing it outside, going off the left hip of Spencer Hawley, who I mentioned is in the backfield, the converted nose tackle, playing both ways, has been in the backfield for pretty much every single running play, lead blocking for Andre Rudolph.
And Rudolph able to pick up 17 yards on his first 2 runs of this possession as we're under 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. And getting set here is Elias, 1st and 10. Taking the snap, hands off to Rudolph. They're going to go to the right this time. He has a gang of tacklers in front of him, and he's going to go nowhere on that play as Stewart is able to get in there and make the hit.
Yeah, Stewart and the boys on the left-hand side of the defense are doing a really good job. Andre's only had opens to the left. Excuse me, it's the right side of the defense that's being preventing Rudolph from getting good yardage.
And correct myself, Stair, not Stewart. It's Bennett Stair there with the stop. So it'll be a 2nd down and a very long 9 here.
The size difference between the offensive and the defensive line of these two teams, you expect a huge advantage from Dublin.
Here's the snap there. They hand it off. It's Rudolph again, bowling through one defender and pushing his way up ahead through two more as he got himself just shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, it looked like number 31, Tyler Peja, was on the tracks, and the young running back Rudolph went right over him.
And actually with this spot, they do have a first down there.
Very difficult if you're a defender to get lower than Andre Rudolph, the 5'9", 220-pound senior. Runs lower than he stands tall. Very difficult man to get leverage against.
Well, Coach Schramm did say that his guys were a bit undersized, but one thing he said is he actually conditioned them very well. They do a lot of that in the offseason, and he plays to their strengths. He expects a lot of speed out of this defense, but as you mentioned, not a lot of size as they now put Rudolph in motion. A fumble snap, Elias going for it, and a great job by Elias. He's able to scoop that ball up as he's being tackled.
The late flag in the
There's a penalty marker down
back in the defense called by the back judge.
So we'll see what the referees sort out here. Initially a loss on the play of about 6 yards. And a clipping call is going to be called here.
I think that was called on Big 55. Spencer Hawley got a little bit low.
So kind of adds insult to injury here, the loss on the fumble, and now they're going to tack on the penalty yardage here.
That was a good job, though, by Elias jumping on that ball and retaining possession. That ball came out from under center quickly, skidding along the dirt, but he was able to scoop it up and retain possession. But as you mentioned, the penalty after the play.
Yeah.
15-yard penalties assessed from the end of the last
So it's a
play.
21-yard net loss altogether with the fumble and the 15-yard penalty.
First down, first and 31 for Dublin.
And you hear the PA announcer, first and 31, they're on 26-yard line. We'll see if Elias has the arm to get him out of it here. They get set first and 10. They send Rudolph in motion again as they did in the last play. Taking the snap, Elias rolling out. Looks like it might be a design run. He works out towards the left side, breaks through one tackle, pushes up ahead, and he's across the 45-yard line before he's finally brought down. So a good chunky yardage taken out by Elias there. Sets up a second down and still very long here.
Yeah, good job there by the Miramonte Matadors defense. It looked like the play was set up well, and he had blockers in front of Elias, and the speed of the Miramonte defense was able to come back and make the play before getting too much yardage away.
So like I said, here's second down and 22.
Miramonte using the speed, as you mentioned.
Like I said, Elias taking the snap. They'll hand it off to Rudolph. Rudolph working towards the right side, and the gang tackling works there for Miramonte. They knock it down after about a 3-yard gain.
Andre Rudolph up the middle.
So still no passing from this Dublin offense, but now they are set in a 3rd and long situation here. At a 3rd and 19 here. So they've got about under 20 seconds to try to get this play off here at the end of the first quarter. Trailing by 7 as the Gales come up to the line. About 10 seconds now to try to get the play off.
3rd down.
Elias takes the snap, pitches to Rudolph, following his blockers towards the right side, pushing up ahead, and he is hit by Bruin and brought down right around the 45-yard line.
And that is the final play of the first
That ends the first quarter, 7-0. Miramonte is in the lead over the Dublin Gales. And you assume they'll be punting here with about a 4th and 12 coming up.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So we're seeing here with the 7-0 deficit, 2 possessions for Dublin, and they haven't gone to the air here, even on the 3rd and long. So you wonder if the quarterback situation is making it difficult for Dublin to do anything offensively so far.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They've just been run the entire game, and when you lose 6 and you get a 15-yard penalty tacked onto the end of that one, you're putting your offense in a real difficult situation when you're so one-dimensional.
So on the 4th and 12, you're going to see Corey Thurman punting it away. And Marshall Deutz back to receive it, standing just inside his own 20-yard line. Thurman takes a snap, runs to the right just as he did the time before, and gets a low liner once again. Deutz letting this one bounce, and again he has to let it go inside the 10-yard line, and they're going to spot it at the 7-yard line.
Unorthodox style of punting, but effective nonetheless. Second punt in a row inside of the 10-yard line for Dublin.
And the way they're able to angle it away, I mean, they've given them a long field to work with. It didn't hurt Miramonte in their first possession of the game as they were able to drive it, 97 yards into the end zone on that first drive. Now they're set with a 93 yards of field in front of them, but they didn't have a lot of difficulty against this Dublin defense. We'll see what Dublin does to adjust.
Yeah, football is definitely a game of adjustments. Perhaps Miramonte was showing Dublin something they hadn't seen before. Hopefully for them, they're going to be able to adjust. They're definitely widening out their defense in the open first play of this drive.
As Sheehan taking the first down snap, dropping back, he fires over the middle. The ball is reeled in. McDonald, did he make the catch? And referees say incomplete. A good effort by Jonathan McDonald. He's saying he had it, but referees don't agree.
Oh, that was a tough play. It looked like he came down with it from up here, but the referees have a closer look than I do, certainly from the top of the press box. So a tremendous effort there, but unable to hold on.
So they get set again quickly. Miramonte on 2nd and 10 in the no-huddle offense. And now they look towards the sideline to get the change of play here. As Deutz goes in motion, Sheehan takes a snap, fires over the middle, just past the outstretched hands of Deutz.
Pass intended for Marshall Deutz falls incomplete.
Sheehan really didn't have to put so much on that ball. He had Deutz wide open over the middle with plenty of space to run after the catch, and he just gunned it in there too hard, and Deutz was unable to hold on to it.
So 3rd down and 10 after 2 incompletions, and Sheehan relaying the play out to the receivers at the bottom of your screen.
Big play here for the Dublin defense. You'd love to get off the field after that long drive.
They send Deutz in motion, and Sheehan taking the snap, dropping back, looking towards his right. He fires and overthrows Zoddy Williams, incomplete. So after a drive where it seemed like nothing could go wrong for Miramonte, they have what appears to be a 3-and-out.
Yeah, really good job of answering the call. This Dublin defense took a big punch on the first drive by Miramonte, going 97 yards for the opening score. By forcing the 3-and-out this time around, they should open up with good field position on their third possession here.
So they get set to punt it away here as Rudolph, the only man back to receive it for Dublin. And a flag comes in from the side, or right in front of the line of scrimmage, actually.
You're running out of room here for your punter if you have to back this thing up another 3 or 4 yards here. I think we do have illegal motion on the offense, unless I'm mistaken.
So we have an illegal shift against Miramonte.
And you are correct there.
Half the distance of the goal. Howells to punt from the very back of his own end zone.
As Howells, you see his back foot near that end line as he's set to punt it away. Taking the snap, and Howells is just able to get it off. Rudolph looks like he's going to let it bounce, and he's going to have to let this one go as it rolls towards the 50-yard line and is finally brought down just inside the 50-yard line on the Miramonte side of the field.
Real impressive punt there by Howell, punting from the very back of his own end zone, getting it out to the 40, taking a Miramonte bounce and not allowing Andre Rudolph to return it. And instead of starting deep into Miramonte territory, they're starting the third possession on the Dublin side of the ball. So excellent job by the punter there to get their team out of danger.
And for Dublin, they can't be happier. Their first time tonight, they've had great field positions. They get set here. 1st and 10 from their own 49. As Elias going to hand it off, and it's Rudolph. Rudolph met at the line of scrimmage with a hard hit and finally brought down by a gang of green and white.
Yeah, gang of green and white is absolutely right. It seems like every time Rudolph tries to hit the hole, he has 3 or 4 or 5 different matadors holding him up and pushing him backwards. So good job, very impressive performance from this scrappy, if undersized Miramonte Matador defense.
As they get set here, it'll be a 2nd down and 11. And see if Dublin continues to try to ground and pound it here. So they bring it up to the line. Again, 3 backs behind Elias as he gets set under center here. Taking the snap, he's going to pitch it to Rudolph, working towards the left side. Has some blockers, hit as he goes to the middle. And across the 50-yard line, he's brought down around the 47-yard line in Miramonte territory.
To give that time was to Andre Rudolph.
Looked like number 50, Brandon Armacino, got in there. The junior linebacker able to wrap around Rudolph's legs and bring him down for a short gain.
Gain on the play. 3rd and a long 5, ball just across the 47.
So he gets set here for the 3rd down. And see if Dublin continues to go to the ground here. They get set in that same formation. Elias set, takes a snap, they pitch it again to Rudolph, working towards the left side, has some blockers, gets across the 40 down the sideline, bulldozes over one man before he's finally wrapped up and thrown out of bounds. A big 1st down for the Dublin Gales.
And you got to give it up to number 5, Dennis Barber, the senior fullback, guarding outside, pancaked one Miramonte defender and then kept looking for more. Rudolph doing a great job of following Barber into the Miramonte defense and picking up a big 1st down. Very impressive blocking by Dennis Barber.
As they bring it up 1st and 10 at the Miramonte 31. Elias going to pitch, it's going to go the right side. Rudolph breaking through one arm tackle and fights his way forward, gets a gain of about 2 on the play. And 2nd down upcoming.
Pitch was by Mr. Andre Rudolph.
Miramonte defense starting to soften a bit after getting heavy doses of Andre Rudolph steadily and consistently on 3 straight possessions. Dublin running game starting to get it together.
So Dublin brings up to the line, 2nd down and 8 from the 28-yard line, 29-yard line. And taking the snap, they're going to hand off to who else? Andre Rudolph. He jukes his way back inside, fights up forward, and gets himself just about 1.5 yards shy of that 1st down marker.
Get some tough yards inside, pickup of 6.
No question who the workhorse is for this Dublin offense, Andre Rudolph.
Eventually brought him down. That'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Gales at the Matadors 23.
So Dublin slow to get the plays in. You see kind of the difference in tempo between the 2 teams. Miramonte with that no huddle feels like they're moving. Dublin likes to take their time, get set, and grind it out. And of course, take a lot of time off the clock there. As they get set here, a 3rd down and 2. And taking the snap, it's a keeper by Elias, his 2nd run of the day, and he's able to fight his way forward and gets just across that 1st down marker. So another 1st down.
Dublin Gale, 1st down.
Yeah, good job there by the quarterback for Dublin, going on 1st sound, catching the Matador defense by surprise a little bit and able to push forward enough for the 1st down by about 1/2 yard.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Elias brings it up. Trying to answer back, they pitch to Rudolph, working towards the left side. Stiff arms one man, works his way forward across the 20-yard line. He's wrestled down from behind, and a gain of about 3 on the play.
Andre Rudolph around the left side. Alex Mayers made the tackle.
Nice job there by Andrew Rudolph, working his way through the Matador defense.
2nd and 7 for Dublin.
But it seems like he's just about to break one here. He's been getting close, but Miramonte's done a good job of keeping him relatively in check.
They get it here, 2nd down and 7 from the 17-yard line. Elias set under center once again. He pitches towards the right side. It's Rudolph breaking through one tackler. He fights his way forward and is wrestled down by a gang of tacklers again. All said and done, about a 2-yard gain on the play.
Good job by Connor Bruin, the outside backer for the Matadors, diving into the backfield and getting a piece of Rudolph before he got a chance to get going. Nothing fancy from this Dublin offense. Miramonte's doing a good job so far of containing it.
Well, this is so effective for Dublin, the running game. They continue to wear the defense down, and more importantly, they keep Miramonte's offense off the field. As they're just under 7 minutes here to play in the 2nd quarter. A 3rd down and 5 from the 16-yard line. And Elias going to hand it off. It's Rudolph fighting his way, jumping forward, and he's finally brought down just about 1 yard shy of the 1st down marker.
Andre Rudolph up the middle.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the spot. They might be closer than we initially thought.
It'll be fourth
No, he
and
is
one
clearly a
for
yard
Dublin at
short,
the
and see what
11-yard
Dublin's got a
line.
big decision to make here, down 7-0.
Don't know about the kicking game with Totaro, but he's still on the sideline, so it looks like they will be going for it here on this fourth, and it is a short one, so a good opportunity here. I mean, Rudolph has not been entirely stoppable. And a timeout taken by Dublin. They want to talk this one over with 6:18 left to play in the second quarter. And a 7-0 deficit here for the Gales.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Coming out of the timeout here in Dublin, we mentioned the fourth and a very short one. You still see Totaro on the sideline taking his practice kicks here. And we'll see if Dublin still looks like they're going to go for it. Before the timeout, they were lining up to run it, and indeed they go on the field without their kicker.
Yep, and they're bringing in Spencer Hawley, the nose tackle turned fullback. He'll probably line up in the backfield again and run power his way.
Fourth down, 4th and 1 from the 11.
So he lines it up.
Big play here.
Elias hands it off to Rudolph, working his way through, fights ahead. He's got enough for a first down, plus a bit more. You know, it's always a gamble, but in that situation, Andre Rudolph was just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, big play there by the Gales offense. The Miramonte defense had blitzed both outside linebackers from the outside, but Andre Rudolph able to squeeze through the middle just enough to pick up the first down.
Coming up on 6 minutes left to play here in the second quarter is Elias getting set here. It'll be a first and goal. Ball spotted at the 7-yard line. And now a whistle comes in. Looks like there was a timeout taken by Miramonte. So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here and 5:55 left to play here in the second quarter. So interesting to see the 2 different styles of offense here. Really that grinded out running game of Dublin, and Miramonte that quick attack passing game. And really, I mean, still no team has really established themselves on the dominantly. You know, that first possession by Miramonte, they're able to move it down the field, but Dublin's defense responded. And so Dublin really asserting themselves here.
Yeah, Dublin's put together a really good drive here and doing nothing simple. It's run left, run right, run middle, run left, run right. They picked up multiple third down conversions, and including 1 fourth down just recently. Now they have second down from inside of the 10-yard line, or is it first down and goal inside the 10-yard line with a chance to tie this game up.
So they get set here. Ball spotted at the 7 on this first and goal possession here.
First and goal for Dublin from the 7.
So Elias getting set, 3 backs behind him once again. Taking the snap, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper as Rudolph threw a brutal block. Elias trying to work with the stiff arm, and he ends up with a loss of about 8 yards on the play.
Great play there by 51, Stan Raymond, senior outside linebacker, piercing through the Gales offensive line and picking up Elias, who was trying to sweep around left, and thrown for a loss of 7. Great play there on first and goal. Now we're looking at a second goal from 7 yards back, deep at the 15 of the Gales. So definitely not a play you want to start out a first and goal possession for Dublin.
And with Dublin in the long field, you never know if they'll be able to respond if they aren't able to go to the air. As they take the snap there, it's Elias handing off to Rudolph, juking his way back inside, fighting his way forward, dragging tacklers across the 10-yard line. And he's brought down just a bit short of the 5.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Joe. When you're a team that's so focused on running the ball and keeping the ball moving forward, not big gains, but short, positive runs, when you get a negative loss like they've had the last 2 possessions, it's really hard to come back from that. So we're back where we started on the 7-yard line, but now it's third down. Miramonte defense looking for come up with a big play here and hold them out of the end zone.
So third and goal, as you mentioned, the original line of scrimmage to the 7-yard line is where they're spotted. Taking the snap, Elias hands it off to Rudolph. He's hit in the backfield, and he's brought down immediately. So 4th and goal upcoming. And we'll see if it'll be a field goal attempt here.
Up the middle. Hit initially by Stan Raymond.
Yeah, if you're Miramonte, you feel absolutely wonderful if you're able to come away with this possession without any points to this Dublin Gales offense. They put together a credible drive, had the ball for over 7 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, and now they're looking at a 4th and goal outside of the 5-yard line. Miramonte needs one more play to really turn the tide of this game back in their direction.
Well, Tataro's still on the sideline, and they're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. And Elias said here, a big play for Dublin early in this contest. Dropping back to Elias, his first pass attempt, looking toward the end zone. He's able to complete in for the touchdown. And it is Dennis Barber.
6-yard touchdown completion to Dennis Barber.
What a great call there by Coach John Wade. The first pass play of the game. Play action pass and hitting your fullback in the flat who was wide open. Dennis Barber hauls it in and walks into the end zone for the equalizing touchdown.
You know, you wondered if it was coming at some point. They set it up so much, just having the defense keyed on the run. And finally, they're able to get the pass there on the rollout by Elias, and Dennis Barber able to stroll into the end zone. Now Tataro set for the extra point to tie this game up. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. So we're all knotted up at 7 with 3:49 left to play here in the second quarter.
3 minutes, 49 seconds remaining first half. And we're all knotted up. That's 7 apiece.
Real impressive drive there. And you know, there's 2 things that point out to me, or that jump out to me, that are interesting. Both, first, Elias had 2 guys wide open on that play, because as you mentioned, the Miramonte defense was keying run the entire way. And just because you're not used to throwing the ball and you haven't done it all night, to run a play that effective and to execute, you got to feel good if you're Coach John Wade. You finally call the play action pass, it's 4th down, you need a big play, and your team comes through and executes it exactly the way you drew it up in the film room. Great call, great execution, and we're knotted up at 7 here in the second quarter.
So we'll see if the Dublin defense is able to continue to do their job as they did on the last drive. Miramonte and that passing attack, who was able to drive 93 yards down the field to start the game. We'll get set here. Taro getting ready to kick it off. Deutz is back to receive, along with Paoletti. Here's Tataro's kick, and he's just going to put a short one in. It's going to be fair caught by the Eltman at the 30-yard line. It is Connor Bruin who caught it, and they're going to mark him at his own 31.
Tataro's kickoff fielded by Connor Bruin at the 30.
So you've seen the kicking game, and thus far from Dublin, they've done their best to prevent any sorts of returns. You see on the punts, they've been going on the rollout with the punter Thurman and just getting a low line drive that hasn't been returnable so far. Then you saw that kickoff there, just the short little pooch. So they're being respectful of the return game of Miramonte.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That looked like a semi-squib, anything to keep it away from the Miramonte D-man. Connor Bruin able to fair catch the ball, puts Miramonte in pretty decent field position outside of their own 30-yard line here, trying to get a quick score here before the end of the half.
Well, they have 2 timeouts, 3:47 remaining here in the second quarter. They bunched 3 wide receivers up to the top of the formation, taking the snap. It was Zadi Williams, and he was brought down hard in the backfield. A big play for a loss. And once again, Spencer Hawley with the big tackle.
Yeah, great play there by Spencer Hawley, and an interesting call there by Jack Schramm on first down, bringing in your big wide receiver, take a direct snap and go left. Dublin defense wasn't fooled at all and make a big 7-yard stop as the clock rolls, just outside 3:20 left in the first half.
So we'll see if Miramonte goes back to a more traditional passing play for their offense as Sheehan gets a call from the sideline. A 4 wide receiver set as he gets set. Sheehan taking the snap, good protection. He fires quickly towards the left side, overthrows Deutz. He was trying to connect on the quick out.
Good start to this drive by the Dublin defense. Has definitely got the momentum back on their side after being down 7-0 early. Now Sheehan sees his Miramonte squad in a deep hole here on 3rd and long.
As the wind has started to kick up a little bit. So it'll be a bit to Sheehan's back as he gets set here. 3rd and 17 from his own 23-yard line. Taking the snap, Sheehan dropping back. throws as he's under pressure towards the left side, diving and incomplete as he was trying to connect with his wide receiver. It was Deutz, and he would have had a first down had he caught it. Instead, fourth down upcoming.
Yeah, very close there. Sheehan put the ball kind of on the money there, low and away and towards the sideline. Deutz goes down to the ground and just off the end of his fingertips. But that's the game. You miss it by a couple of inches, and now you force a Miramonte punt, and Dublin has a chance to take the lead here before halftime.
Yeah, less than a minute came off the clock there. As 2:55 left, Dublin will have 2 timeouts as well. As Jamie Howells takes in the snap and gets away a punt under pressure, it's going to be a short one. Bounces inside the 50 and does take a Miramonte bounce. Now inside the 40-yard line, it'll finally die and be marked at about 39.
Punt down by Zadi Williams.
Lucky to get that punt away. Nick Katsarellis and Tariq Fatah almost had a piece of that punt, but was able to get rid of it and put the ball back on the 40-yard line of Dublin. So good job by the punter escaping the block and getting that kick away there.
So 2 minutes, 44 seconds, 60 yards are in front of the Dublin offense as they go to work. Taking the snap, they hand it off to Rudolph. Rudolph breaks one tackler, pushes up ahead as he crosses the line of scrimmage and is brought down after a gain of about 3.5 on the play.
Up the middle for a gain of 4.
The other thing that's going up against you when you're a run control heavy offense is you normally don't have a 2-minute offense, and if you do, you certainly aren't comfortable running it. Let's see if they try to open things up a little bit as we approach 2 minutes left here to go in the first half.
Yeah, the clock approaching 2 minutes and 15 seconds as it gets set here. 2nd down and 6. As they pitch it, it's Andre Rudolph following his blockers, diving up across the middle, and he does have what appears to be a first down. It's going to be very close.
Dublin Gale, first down.
And Andre Rudolph gets his hips toward the line of scrimmage. He's a dangerous man to bring down. He gets up to top speed in about 4 or 5 yards. Not a guy you want to tackle if you're a Miramonte Matador.
Well, now he's set under 2 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Ball on the 50-yard line. Taking the snap, they pitch to Andre Rudolph again, following his blockers through the middle, and he pushes up ahead, bringing about 4 guys with him on a 5-yard gain.
Gain of 5.
And we'll see where Dublin chooses to use their final 2 timeouts.
There along with Wilson Brown. 2nd and 5 at the 45.
Clock coming up to a minute and a half left to play here in the second quarter. As Elias bringing it up to the line here. Taking the snap, they're going to hand it off to Rudolph, working behind the left guard. He fights his way up ahead. He's going to be maybe just shy of the first down marker. This spot looks like it is a bit short.
Another great block there by Nick Katsarellis. Just plowed the strong safety for the Matadors. You're seeing pancake blocks from these offensive linemen and the tight ends for the Gales, but Andre Rudolph isn't able to break any big runs yet today. Maybe one is upcoming here.
Well, it's under 50 seconds here left in the first half. As Elias and the quarterback keeper, he fights his way up the middle, breaks through one level and fights up ahead. He has a first down plus about 3 more.
Breaks a couple tackles, gets out to the 36-yard line before being brought down by Connor Bruin. First down, Dublin.
And we see Dublin take their second timeout. So 1 remaining here for the Gales here at 40 seconds to play in this first half.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
And a 7-7 ball game here. You do see Miguel Arroyo warming up on the sideline for the Gales. He is one of the so-called 3-headed monster that they've got going at quarterback. I've seen a lot of Elias to start this game.
Yeah, it hasn't been much of a 3-headed monster so far. It's just been Elias, and he has been playing like a monster, hitting his 1 pass for a touchdown with a perfect passer rating, 153.9 if my memory serves. But he's been doing a good job controlling the offense, running the ball, you know, just getting the ball to his bell cow back, Andre Rudolph, and letting him do the hard work. He's picked up a couple first downs on the with his legs. Let's see if he can put together a few more good plays here with just 40 seconds left on the clock before halftime.
So they get set here, first down and 10. Elias taking the snap, pitches to Rudolph, following his blockers, jukes back inside. He falls forward and gains 3 on the play.
Give that time to Andre Rudolph. He picks up 2 yards.
He's going to have to get on the ball here quickly.
2nd and 8 at the 30.
Clock is rolling.
Well, Dublin now is going to go no huddle here as they're under 25 seconds remaining here in the first half. Taking the snap, Elias pitching towards the right side. It's Rudolph following his blockers, pushing, diving up ahead, and we'll see if they burn their final timeout here.
Gain of 3 by Andre Rudolph out to the 31-yard
And
line.
indeed, it looks like Dublin does use their last timeout. So 13 seconds remain, a 7-7 score. And now Dublin has to take some sort of shot. You have time. It could be, you know, you attack the sidelines with a pass and then try to kick, or you just try to take one shot and then see if you do want to try to kick. It'd be a deep one if you did try to get it from here. You don't really know the leg on Tatora yet. We haven't seen him on anything except the kickoff there after the touchdown.
Yeah, that would be asking a lot. You're probably going to need at least another 10, 15 yards here, and that's not something that Dublin's been able to do, although when they did decide to pass the ball, they were certainly effective with that, but it certainly is a dangerous call here. You do want to pick up 5, 10, 15 yards, but if you do, you better get out of bounds because the clock's going to roll and you're out of timeouts.
Well, we'll see what they do here. We still see Miguel Arroyo warming up on the sideline, but he's not coming in, so it's still Tristan Elias to bring it in. So I see, of course, as we said, they want to attack the sidelines with some sort of pass and get out of bounds quickly and try to take some yardage off of a field goal attempt. Elias taking it, fakes a handoff, rolling out to his left. Pump fakes, now he's going to have to keep it himself, and this isn't going to help Dublin. He's brought down with 7 seconds remaining, and Dublin's just going to have to watch the clock run out as it does just that. End of the first half. We are tied at 7 here from Dublin High School.
That's the final play of the first half. After one half of play, your score, Miramonte 7.
So we will be taking a break. Stay tuned. We will have a halftime show for you coming up after the break here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
And that'll be followed by a field show performance of our Dublin High School marching band.
match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
Welcome to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, coming to you from Dublin High School in Dublin, California. I'm Joe Lahiv alongside Todd Allen. Our halftime score is 7-7, a tie ball game here in this first league game for Dublin and Miramonte High. And Todd Allen, we started it off with what looked like a good Miramonte offense, and looked like they were going to be setting the tone for this ball game as they were able to drive down the field and finish off with a 13-yard passing touchdown. But Dublin's defense has really responded since then.
Yeah, they certainly have, and you're absolutely right on the way this game started out. Miramonte going 97 yards on their opening drive, and it looked like they were going to open things up and go spread the ball around to everybody and just take this Dublin team by storm. And you could tell the Dublin crowd here at Gale Stadium was out of it for a little while. But Dublin didn't give in. They played some strong defense, forced a punt, getting the ball in their side of the field and driving the equalizing touchdown. And we're at 7-7, and we've got two contrasting styles, if you ever could imagine, here at Gale Stadium.
Yeah, you mentioned the two contrasting styles, the air attack of Miramonte, then the ground and pound style, really, of Andre Rudolph and this, Dublin offense. They've done such a great job there. After their first couple possessions with some 3-and-outs, they were able to get a long, sustained drive, capped off by their only pass attempt, a 6-yard touchdown pass to Dennis Barber. And so really, they set themselves up well for that pass. The defense so keyed in on the run that they really just were not ready for it.
Yeah, and really, what a first half by Andre Rudolph. He's got 2 games worth of runs already in one half of football. It's going to be interesting to see, Joe, how much he has left in this second half. I know we're mid-season, and I'm sure he's in really great shape, but I've never seen a running back take such a pounding from a Miramonte swarming defense and be able to respond. We'll see who wilts first. Will it be Andre Rudolph running the ball for 4 quarters, or you typically see the defense wear down? But it's going to be interesting to see who gives in first. We're set and we're ready for an unbelievable second half here in this opener of the league play in the Diablo Foothill Valley, excuse me.
No, you see that with the two contrasting styles, and really they are trying to wear out the other defense in a different way. Miramonte, fast, no huddle. They're trying to quickly move things around, use their quickness, use their speed to try to just wear that defense down and to basically not be able to let them slow down and think things out and be ready to go. So you mentioned with Dublin, Rudolph, he's used to getting a lot of touches, 4 consecutive games with 150-plus yards. 2 of them were 200-plus yard games. So he is used to that pounding, as you mentioned. And as you said in the first half, the description I really love, the Michael Turner body style. You really do see it in that lower half. Very strong legs. He's able to break a lot of tackles. You see, it's not a lot of speed. Even though he is their kick returner, he does have some speed to him. He has a lot of just bowling over defenders, stiff arms, just lowering that shoulder and really establishing himself. And that does, that also wears the defense down over time too.
Yeah, absolutely. And power is really what this entire Dublin Gales offense is all about. Their linemen are big, their fullbacks are big, and they just want to ground and pound you to death. The Miramonte did a good job gang tackling in the first half. We'll see if they're able to do the same thing in the second half. Should be interesting to find out.
Yeah, so a lot more football coming up for you here. With that, we're going to step away. We'll hope you'll stay with us on the PlayOnSports.com postgame or halftime show. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff for the second half here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. You're watching the PlayOnSports.com presentation of Friday Night Football from Dublin, California. Joe Lawhiff along with Todd Allen getting ready to start the second half of this ball game. 7-7 your score. Dublin and Miramonte all tied up here as they get set. Dublin does to kick it away. Andrew Totoro going to kick it away here and gets away another short one going toward the sideline, and this one quickly goes out of bounds. So we'll see a flag come in and see if they decide to re-kick or just go to work here.
That one did sort of look like a onside kick. I know he's been doing squib kicks, but that one I tried to catch, perhaps tried to catch Miramonte napping there and take the ball back to begin the second half, but unfortunately the kick did go out of bounds regardless, putting the Miramonte Matadors in good field position here to open up the second half.
As they take it from their own 40-yard line. They get set at Sheehan set the shotgun. Three receivers to the bottom of your screen. Dropping back, Sheehan going to air it out, looking long down the left sideline. Has Williams, and Tom Tran able to break it up near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, really good job there by Tran, staying with Zadie Williams down the left sideline and forcing the incompletion. Miramonte airing it out just like they did in the first half, trying to catch this Gales team napping a little bit coming out of the second half, or the halftime.
And so they get set here, second down and 10. Sheehan from the shotgun. Sends Shepard in motion before taking the snap. Fakes a handoff to Bruin. Now a low pass reeled in by Shepard. He works towards the left sideline. Tripped up from behind, but he dives forward across that first down marker before he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, they're wasting no time here. This offense, they're doing no huddle, and they're moving at a much quicker pace. Real consistent with what they did in their opening drive when they went 97 yards for the opening touchdown.
And much like the start of the first half, the wind kicks up right as the game gets started. As they get set first and 10 from the 50, Miramonte set. It's Sheehan in the shotgun, taking the snap, dropping back, has protection, pump fakes, now throws and overthrows Shepard, incomplete. And second down upcoming.
Yeah, he had 3 wide receivers in the pattern and about 5 defenders. Luckily, that ball was able to find a hole and hit the ground because that could have been picked off.
They'll be set here with a second down and 10 from the 50-yard line. 11:40 left to play here in the third quarter. As they get set, Sheehan, 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 2 to the top. Now he sends Deutz in motion. Taking the snap, he hands it off. It's Connor Bruin, hit immediately and brought down. A good play there, and maybe no gain on the play.
Yeah, Jordan Machado, number 32, the middle linebacker, was not fooled on that fake. Took the quick dive away and made a great solo tackle, forcing a 3rd and long here for Miramonte.
It is a 3rd and 10 with 11:20 left to play here in the third quarter. As they send a man in motion, it's Deutz, and they're going to hand it off to Deutz. Or no, it's a keeper, pardon me. Sheehan went towards the left side and actually lost a yard on the play.
That was Seesaw, the man they call Seesaw, Cesar Saavedra, making the stop, the 6'4" senior. Again, not fooled by the fake handoff, and Miramonte's going to have to punt.
Well, Sheehan looks like he's just been plagued by the overthrows quite a bit here, and it's carried over to the second half as that one killed the drive. And then the run play went nowhere as they get set to punt it away. Howells gets away a kick, and now whistle comes in, so this play will not count. Penalty marker came from deep.
Unfortunate there because that wiped out a tremendous punt.
And the penalty is actually going to go against Dublin, though.
Uh-oh. What's the call?
Penalties, 12 men on the field.
Oh, so too many men on the field for Dublin.
Luckily, only a 5-yard penalty, and still be 4th and 6.
We'll see.
But will they decide to go for it here, Joe?
And they do. They shifted personnel, and Sheehan's in the ball game. Set with 3 receivers up to the top of his screen here. Ball spot at the 46-yard line in Dublin territory. So a gamble here as they get set. And you see Miramonte, they analyze the defense, and they'll call in a new play. Sheehan taking a snap, dropping back, pump fakes, looking, now he fires over the middle, is able to complete it to his diving receiver, and it was Will Fuller picking up the first down.
Wow, what a great call there by Nick Sheehan, biding time, waiting for his big wide receiver to find the seam in the defense, and they pick up a 4th down conversion and move the chains.
10:33 left to play here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line as Sheehan getting set with a 4 wide receiver set. Sheehan takes the snap, fakes a handoff, dropping back. Great protection. He rolling to his right now as Sheehan looking down the field. He fires towards the right sideline. Ball is reeled in by Shepard. He's able to make the catch. A late flag comes in near the 35-yard line. So we'll see what that's about.
There is a penalty marker down.
Or correction, it was Eric G on the play.
Illegal man downfield against Miramonte.
And so Miramonte has a penalty there. Legal man down the field.
Bring the ball back.
Going back to the previous play, that's got to be disappointing if you're the Dublin defense. You get a stop to start out this second half, and it gets wiped out by a 12-man on the field penalty and a 4th down conversion by Nick Sheehan. But then you get a penalty, wipes out a 1st down, so we're back at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 1st and 15, excuse me.
Yeah, 1st and 15 here with 10:14 left to play here in the third quarter. As Sheehan sending a man in motion, it's G. As Sheehan dropping back. And quickly going to unload, just underthrows Connor Bruin, who slid to try to catch a ball behind him. Incomplete, 2nd down upcoming.
Yeah, Miramonte tried to set up the middle screen there to their running back, 40. Connor Bruin, and unfortunately for them, the ball fell incomplete. Gales were not fooled on that play.
So from the 41-yard line in Dublin territory, a 2nd down and 15 coming up here as Sheehan set in the shotgun once again. Sheehan taking the snap. Has to roll to his right. One of his blockers lost his helmet. Now firing forward as Sheehan making the catch and getting out of bounds was his wide receiver as he's able to connect with Dominic Fayletti.
Wow, I've just been so impressed with Nick Sheehan's ability to keep plays alive, roll out, and throw on the run. For a quarterback that doesn't have a tremendous amount of experience, he certainly plays with a lot of poise and composure and confidence the way he loads the ball downfield.
As Stan Raymond was the offensive lineman who lost his helmet on the play. Like I said here, 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line, taking the snap. Sheehan's going to hand it off, and Paoletti working on the end around. Spins as he gets thrown through the air and gets about a 2-3-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, the senior cornerback, number 24, Tom Tran, comes up and upends the running back. Still picks up a couple yards there, now 2nd down.
So they get a 2nd and 8 here with 9:38 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Paoletti, or excuse me, Deutz is a man in motion. They fake the handoff, and Sheehan throwing the screen to Deutz. Deutz following his blocker, gets away from one man, stiff arms another, getting across the 20. He's hit near the right sideline and knocked out of bounds. Good gain on the play, puts him about 1.5 yards to 2 yards shy of the 1st down.
I didn't see, was that Marshall Deutz out there breaking tackles and running? He was a nice run, nice catch right there, breaking tackles, following his blockers. Just came up short on the 1st down on that play.
Yeah, they say he's 3 yards short. 3rd down and 3 coming up from the 19-yard line, coming up on 9 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter. They send Paoletti in motion and taking the snap. Sheehan dropping back with time. Now it's a step up against the pressure. He fires towards the left side. He is picked off. Coming back the other way, it's Barber. Barber working up towards the middle of the field. Finally pulled down from behind, and they'll mark him right at the 50-yard line.
Dennis Barber, another great play. That's his 3rd big-time play of this game. He's doing it all out there, Joe. He had a great block on a run by Andre Rudolph. He's the one who caught the touchdown pass for Dublin, and there he has the big interception, taking it back 32 yards from Nick Sheehan and taking the ball all the way to the 50-yard line. Dublin comes up with a big play on defense.
And Dublin with great field position, as you mentioned. That's what the kind of field position they had when they had their touchdown drive. You see them here with 8:46 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Still tied up at 7 here as they get set. And now they stop play for just a moment. And looks like a timeout was called by Dublin. That'll be their first timeout of the 2nd half.
First timeout of the half.
With your score 7-7.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups? Just like the game you're enjoying here tonight, tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all of their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonssports.com/SBP.
So coming off the timeout, Dublin, after the interception, set 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Tied at 7 in a game they've never led with 8:46 left to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Dublin defense came up with a big play there. Sheehan connected on a 4th down play. Looked like they were headed in for a score, but they were able to thwart that possession.
So they get set here. Elias under center. Taking the snap, he's going to hand off. It's Rudolph. Rudolph working towards the middle, breaking through one level, tripped up from behind. He got the 1st down. A late flag comes in as he got up to the 35-yard line. Flag is back at the 42. And it looks like they might be against Dublin, though. And a hold is going to be called against Dublin, so they'll march it back. So be from the spot of the foul. We'll see. It's right around the 42 is where the flag is. And they do march it off from there. So it actually, with the penalty, ends up being a loss of a yard.
At the 42, 10-yard penalty from that point. That makes it 1st and 12 for Dublin at their own 48.
Dublin set 1st and 12, 8:40 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. As the handoff goes to Rudolph. He works towards the right side, now goes to the middle, bowling over several men, including his own. He's able to get the 1st down.
Andre Rudolph running hard, just like he did in the 1st half. Wasting no time to get started here in the 2nd half, picking up a 1st down.
Moving under 8.5 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter.
And as you mentioned, plowing over his own fullback, Dylan Fortune, unfortunately was on the train tracks that time.
So like I said, here with the 1st and 10 on the Miramonte 38-yard line. As Elias hands it off, and it's once again, Andre is pushing his way forward, and he is going to get up to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, picking up bigger chunks here than he was in the 1st half. It seemed like the middle of the Miramonte defense was getting to Andre around the 3 or 4 yard mark now, where they're not getting the first lick on him until 6 or 7 yards until he's into their backfield. So maybe we're starting to see that the defense is starting to wear down a bit.
They get set on a 2nd and 3 from the 31-yard line. Elias takes a snap, hands it off to Rudolph again, following his blockers towards the right side, just bullying forward again, knocking his own guys forward and just taking the pile with him. Another first down to the 25-yard line.
First down, Dublin.
Got to be impressed if you're a Miramonte fan or even a Dublin fan watching this man run. Averaging, he has 781 yards going into this game. He's going to be approaching 1,000 before the night is over, Joe.
Yeah, it's an impressive runner, and really just the ability to wear down defenses as he's done so far. They get set 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 25-yard line in Miramonte territory. Elias sent under center. And he's going to hand it off to Rudolph again, following his blockers to the right side, just pushing his way forward. He is 2 yards shy of the first down.
Andre Rudolph.
Great blocking up front. Great job by Rudolph, following his blockers, being patient, and just keeping his shoulders square and headed north-south. And when you go north-south with this guy, you're going to pick up big chunks of yards at a time. And they're approaching, they're inside the red zone here. And it's up to the Miramonte defense to come up with a play here to thwart this drive, because it's going to be difficult to stop this Andre Rudolph right about now.
So 6:40 and counting left here in the third quarter, tied at 7 as they get set on a 2nd and 2 from the 17-yard line. They hand it off. It's Rudolph following his blockers up the middle. He'll have the first down plus about maybe a half yard more. Well, they might get a little more on the scrum pushing forward there as he gets up to about the 12-yard line.
First down, Dublin.
Under 6.5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. They're marked at the 12-yard line.
You don't see a lot of substituting, Joe, excuse me, on this Miramonte defense. You know they're going to be worn down here in the fourth quarter if they keep running the ball the way they are.
Taking the snap, they hand it off to Rudolph again, following his blockers through the middle, pushing forward inside the 5-yard line. He's brought down about a yard shy of the first down marker.
Looks like Alex Mayers got in there and just came up short. Was able to knife through the offensive line and get a hand on Rudolph, but Rudolph just pushed him aside and got another big gainer.
So they bring it up here, 2nd down and 2, ball spotted at the 4-yard line, so they can get a first down inside the 5. They take the snap, hand it off to Rudolph. He fights forward, tacklers diving in on him, and they're going to spot him what looks like just shy of the first down marker, so 3rd down upcoming.
There he is again, Alex Mayers, same exact play, came right through the teeth of the offensive line, able to put a hit on Rudolph before he got back to the line of scrimmage, and he did not get the first down.
It's a spot at the 3-yard line, a 3rd down and 1, 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. They bring it up to the line. Taking the snap, it's going to be Elias on the keeper, pushing his way forward, still pushing, and finally the whistles come. He'll have a first down. It looks like they might mark him right around the 1.5-yard line.
First down, Dublin.
Yeah, smart play there by Tristan Elias, knowing he could follow his big center and left guard and just go right there up to the middle of the defense and pick up the easy first down.
And when the clock starts to become a factor, the fact that they didn't get in the end zone but instead got the fresh set of downs, whether or not it's intentional, it's very fortuitous here for Dublin. Opportunity to take a little bit more time off the clock.
I bet I know who's going to get it here.
It's got to be easy to be the PA announcer here. You just got to say Andre Rudolph over and over again. They take the snap, hand it off. It's Andre Rudolph fighting his way through the middle into the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown. 13-7, Gales lead with 4:32 left to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you give this offense of the Gales a short field, you're playing right into their hands. You don't want them to go 50 yards or less because they just pound you with that running game, and eventually they're going to hit pay dirt.
So you see Tatario coming in to kick the extra point and make it a 7-point lead. Here's the snap, kick by Tatario is up, and it is good. 14-7 your score with 4:32 left to play here in the third quarter. And Dublin with their first lead of the ball game.
4 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Your score, Dublin 14, Miramonte 7.
Andre Rudolph, impressive, and just seems like he's gotten stronger as the game has gone on.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm up here watching him, and I'm getting tired. The only man that's not getting tired is Andre Rudolph. For some reason, he just gets stronger and stronger and just keeps running, puts his head down, and just powered through that Miramonte defense that time. Important possession upcoming here for the Miramonte Matadors. Quarterback Nick Sheehan got picked off, giving the Gales a short field. They're going to have to respond here because you don't want to give the Gales the ball back and get it back into Andre Rudolph's arms, who's just going to ground and pound the clock away. Very important possession upcoming here for the Matadors.
Yeah, Miramonte has to establish that rhythm they had on their first possession. Sheehan has not been able to get a good sustained drive going, although the last one was pretty good. It ended in an interception. He's had a couple 3-and-outs. So let's see what they do here.
Open to do their jumping jacks, and there we see the marching band doing their push-ups after the touchdown.
So Deutz and Paoletti back to receive, but again, it's another short kick. This one's going to go out of bounds on the sideline. And see if Miramonte will take it at the 40.
Miramonte will take that. Starting again on the 40-yard line.
Well, no, wait. Saw a signal from the sideline. Wait to see, make sure they don't order the re-kick. And indeed they did. As you saw, the offenses and the defenses getting set on the field. But instead, they're going to take the yardage and make them kick it again.
Procedure penalty against Dublin on the kickoff, so the Gales will re-kick from the 35.
An interesting decision there by Jack Schramm, taking the ball back just the 5 yards. I guess we've kicked it out of bounds 2 or 3 times today. He's either daring him to kick it deep or perhaps kick it out of bounds again.
Yeah, see what the strategy is here for Miramonte. You do see teams force the re-kick from time to time. But Tataro's been happy to kick it short. Now he's just going to do a little squibber. This one goes over the head of several Lutman. It's finally taken by one of them, and he is hit hard and brought down.
I think that was Sheehan who returned that.
And indeed it was Sheehan. Right around the 29-yard line. So 14-7, Miramonte is trailing to Dublin here with 4:28 left to play here in the third quarter. Starting from their own 31-yard line here, 1st and 10, and really, they got to establish that rhythm with this passing game.
Yeah, this passing game is all about rhythm. You know, when Miramonte gets off to a good start, they get 2 or 3 completions going, you know that they're in for a long drive. It's really important they get the first completion on 1st down here.
So they get set, Sheehan in the shotgun on 1st down. 4 wide receivers set, as they've been for most of the evening. Taking the snap, dropping back. He has to step up against the pressure, and the Dublin defense gets to him. A sack there by the Dublin D. This is Nick Catsarellis getting in.
Yeah, it was Catsarellis. Nick Sheehan had a little bit of time, stepped up in the pocket. He had his tight end open in the flat. He just didn't see him.
16 at the 25.
So 6-yard loss on the play. They get set here, and Dublin's defense jumped. 2 guys did. They're pointing towards the offensive line.
It looked like Zaddy Williams possibly flinched a little bit too on the outside, right in front of the line judge. Let's see what the referee calls it. Wow, they did get it against the defense there. So, I saw Williams flinch, but perhaps he was reacting to the jumping offsides of the Gales defense.
So it sets up a 2nd and 11 after the 5-yard penalty here from the 30-yard line. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter, and Miramonte trailing by a touchdown. So he sends G in motion. Taking the snap, he hands it off, and working up the middle and fighting forward was the running back, and it was McLean Lavis.
Nice tackle there by Spencer Hawley, playing the nose today. He's actually moving around quite a bit. He bounced around to the defensive end. I've seen him lined up at linebacker. He was not fooled on that play, wrapping up a nice clean form tackle from number 55.
So a 3rd and 8 coming here from the 33-yard line.
3rd and 8 at the 33.
There's Sheehan setting the shotgun, sending Deutz in motion. Dropping back, Sheehan with the shotgun snap, fires towards the right side, ball caught by Deutz, hit immediately as he crossed the line of scrimmage and knocked down. Only about a 2-yard gain on the play, and 4th down upcoming.
That was Tristan Elias, the quarterback, playing cornerback on that play. A real nice, clean tackle there. Didn't lead with the head, didn't launch himself. Good tackle.
And Jamie Howell's back to punt it away. No one was deep. And finally, they do get a man back for Dublin. And it's a kick. Ray Clark watching it bounce. He's going to let it go. And it rolls to the 29-yard line and is finally down by Miramonte. So exactly what they didn't want was a 3-and-out for Miramonte, and now their defense is going to have to stop Rudolph.
Yeah, unfortunately on first down, you get the sack. It's difficult to recover from that. And that's exactly as you said, Joe, that's not what you wanted to have happen. The way that Andre Rudolph is running the ball right now for the Dublin Gales, it's going to be difficult for the Miramonte defense to step up and come up with a big play.
First and 10 from their own 28-yard line with 2:42 left to play in the third quarter. A 14-7 lead here. And I think you know what's coming. They hand it off. It's Rudolph. Rudolph working his way through the line of scrimmage, able to propel himself forward after he was initially tripped up, and gains about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, let's see what they think about the old number 1. Give it to Andre Rudolph and see what he can do. Hey, but if you're getting 5 yards a pop, why not?
It's a 2nd and 5 upcoming here from the 33-yard line. Actually make that a 2nd and 6.
Time is now if you're Miramonte defense. Somebody's got to strip the ball from Andre.
As Elias is going to pitch to Rudolph. Rudolph working towards the right side, breaking through the tacklers, pushing across the 40-yard line. He's finally tripped up after a first down run as he's marked at the 42.
Miramonte's doing all they can to limit Rudolph, but they're only limiting to 5 and 6 and 7-yard chunks at a time. They're doing a good job gang tackling, but they're not getting to him as quickly as they were in the first half. Andre's having his way with him so far in this second half.
So clock moving under a minute 53 here left to play in the third quarter as Dublin brings it up to the line. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Elias set under center. Taking the snap, he hands it off to Rudolph again, following his blockers, going behind the right guard. He dives his way forward and gets up to just barely across the 50-yard line.
And if you're Tristan Elias, I know you're doing really well with running the ball, but you have to know the way the Miramonte's defense is playing. They're running 10 guys after Rudolph every single play. You have that play-action pass in your back pocket. You know it's going to be open. So I expect to see that some play on this drive, but maybe not until they can stop Rudolph for less than 7 yards.
Coming up on minute 10 left to play here in the third quarter. Elias taking the snap, fakes a handoff. It's going to be a keeper rolling out.
There it is.
A good block against McDonald. Now Elias has a seam down the left side, going down the 30, down the sideline. He's crossing the 20 to the 10, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. So a huge play, and just as you mentioned, you know, I mean, it wasn't the play action pass, but the fake handoff and having the whole defense key on Rudolph the way they did. Elias had that seam.
Yeah, Elias was just waiting for that play. He was like, Coach, let me do a play action. These guys are looking in on Rudolph, and rightly so. You know, Rudolph's been doing an incredible job, and I expect they go back to number 1 right here.
They get set here, 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line. They take the snap. They hand it off to Rudolph behind his blockers, pushing forward towards the end zone. Is he in? No signal yet. Touchdown for Dublin.
Nothing fancy, Joe, just right up the gut. 7-yard touchdown run for Andre Rudolph.
Yeah, beautifully designed drive. They give you so many doses of Rudolph, and then we saw that rollout play by Tristan Elias for the big gain. And then the touchdown run for Rudolph. Now, Tataro getting set to kick the extra point. High snap reeled in, kick is up, and it's good, 21-7. Dublin leads over Miramonte with 50 seconds left to play here in the third quarter.
Dublin 21, Miramonte 7.
It's been all Andre Rudolph in this second half, his second touchdown of the second half. And aside from one play, his number's been called every single play in 11 minutes and 10 seconds of this third quarter. It's been all Andre Rudolph and all Gales, 21-7 their lead. And Miramonte couldn't respond last time, Joe. But if they want to stay in this game, and I still believe they have a chance in this game the way that they play offense, they're going to have to score and score in a hurry and get some of that momentum back on their side.
Well, it's certainly something, yes, their offense benefits from. They have the quick strike ability. We saw that first pass of the second half. They were able to get a long gain out of it. They've been selling for a lot of stuff underneath to see if they'll try to take some shots here.
And if you're the coaching staff for Miramonte, you have to know that this series is your entire chance in this game. You can't go 3 and out. You got to take all 4 plays and make sure you don't give the ball back, put your entire defense back on the field. This is the entire game here for Miramonte Matadors.
So the Taro set to kick it, another short one. This one looks like it'll stay in bounds. It's taken by one of the Upmen working down the sideline, and being knocked out of bounds was Connor Bruin. And waiting to see, looks like they're going to spot him right around the 40, well, wait. There they go, right around the 40-yard line, actually just a bit shy of it.
9-yard return on that last kickoff. 1st and 10 Miramonte from their 40.
So Miramonte set with the 1st and 10, 46 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Empty backfield. Sheehan, quick pass is complete to Deutz. Deutz working towards the left side and fights his way back, just gets past the original line of scrimmage.
Good tackle there by the strong safety, Josh Yu, number 22, coming up and wrapping up Deutz before he can get any yardage.
And you see Dublin, they're perfectly fine with the short stuff. They're going to let him have it. They're really just daring Miramonte to try to take a shot at this point. As they get set here, 2nd down and 10 from their own 40. They send Deutz in motion from the shotgun. Sheehan takes a snap, fakes a handoff. Quick screen over to Deutz on the right side, following his blocker towards the right sideline and pushing up towards the 50. Flag comes in, could be a late hit on the sideline.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. Could have been a 3rd and short upcoming. Instead, it's going to be 1st down for Miramonte after the late hit all over on the Miramonte sideline. Additional 15 yards will take it well into Gale's territory.
As they do signal that personal foul. So they'll mark it from the 48-yard line. So a big break from Miramonte here, and see if their offense can take advantage.
Gives Miramonte a 1st down, 1st and 10 at the Dublin 37.
So Sheehan set with 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. He takes a shotgun on 1st and 10. Firing towards the left side is complete to Zadie Williams, working across his 30, following his blockers down the left sideline. He's pushed out of bounds just inside the 20. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. 21-7, Miramonte leads, or excuse me, is trailing to the Dublin High Gales.
After 3 quarters of play, your score, Dublin 21, Miramonte 7.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every single week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
As the wind is really whipped up here as we get started in the fourth quarter. It's been gusting on and off for most of the ball game. Started from basically the opening kickoff. It was a strong wind that died out for most of the second quarter, then seemed to pick up at halftime, kind of level out, and now we're getting the strongest gusts I think we've seen throughout the evening. But we'll see what that does for Sheehan, as since they've changed sides on the field, he'll have the wind to his back here. They get set here, 1st and 10, ball spot at the 18-yard line. First play of the fourth quarter. Sheehan set in the shotgun, he's gonna hand it off to Deutz. Deutz following blockers towards the right side, crossing the 20, down to the 15, and knocked out of bounds right about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, nice play there. Little inside handoff on the wide receiver coming across the field in motion, and taking it was Deutz. Picked up about 6 there, 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere like 4 it looks like, sorry Joe.
So they get set there, 2nd down and 6 from the 14-yard line. Sheehan set in the shotgun, sending a man in motion, it's G. And now they're gonna go and check over the sideline and change a play.
Got to find Zadie Williams here.
Sheehan takes a snap, dropping back, firing towards his left side, and in and out of the hands of Deutz, incomplete. Could have been a first down.
Oh yeah, it would have been a first down, Joe, and maybe even more. Sheehan whipped it right through this wind, and unfortunately went right through the hands of Marshall Deutz, bringing up a long third down here. Unfortunately for Miramonte, could have had the first down.
Well, Miramonte needing to get this first down and keep this drive alive here. 11 minutes and 11 seconds left in the ball game. They trail by 2 touchdowns with a 3rd and 6 from the Dublin 14. 3 receivers set to the top of the formation.
Wouldn't be surprised. We saw the same pattern here.
Sheehan takes a snap, and he's going to hand it off to Connor
Wow.
Bruin up the middle. Surprise play there as he gets up just inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and I think it caught the Dublin defense a little bit by surprise. Unfortunately for Miramonte, Bruin wasn't able to pick up the first down, and now it's 4th down and 2.
Well, you just wonder if they were just playing 4-down territory with that to try to set themselves up with this 4th and short. It's marked as a 4th and 2 from the 10-yard line. And we'll see what Miramonte has up their sleeve here. Set with 3 receivers up to the top of your screen. Sheehan is set in the shotgun. And a penalty against the offense. One of the offensive linemen moved.
Ouch, that's a big call against Miramonte. You had the running play on 3rd and 7, so you could have a manageable 4th down and short where run and pass wasn't played. Now you're looking at a 4th and 7, and you're going to have to go to the air. So if you're Dublin, you're just going to be sitting on that pass, staying out of the flat, and making sure they don't get the first down.
Yeah, really just a tough penalty to take at this point in the ball game. And Miramonte going to have a lot to overcome here with 4th down and 7. Taking the shotgun snap, dropping back. Sheehan has good protection. Now has to go to his right. Looking for someone, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and incomplete. Receiver wanted a flag, didn't get it. It was Zadie Williams. And a turnover on downs.
A lot of contact there in the end zone. Unfortunately for Zadie Williams, he didn't get the call. He had his hands up. He had his hands on. I don't know if somebody was pulling him down from behind. Didn't seem to be able to get his hands up to the ball. The little ball was slightly overthrown, but it looked like if Zadie was free, he would have been able to haul that one in. But they do turn the ball over on downs. Tough break for the Miramonte Matadors there.
So Dublin set 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. 10 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the 4th quarter, and a 2-touchdown lead. As they take the first down snap, handed off, it's Andre Rudolph working behind right guard, finding his way forward as he gets up to just across the 20-yard line.
Your winning ticket, 150501. 150501.
Coming up under 10 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter.
$116 to the senior grad night account.
2nd down and 4 from the 21-yard line.
Come on up to the press box.
Elias takes the snap, hands it off. It's Rudolph working towards the right side, pushing forward with the spot. He had enough for a first down. Or did he? And then they do wave the chains forward. It was a first down.
First down, Dublin.
Yeah, if you're Coach John Wade of the Dublin Gales, you know exactly what you're going to be calling for these final 9 minutes and 42 seconds and counting. A lot of number 1, a lot of fastballs. Give the ball to Andre Rudolph and let him run this game over.
Coming up on 9.5 minutes left to play in the ball game here. 1st and 10 from their own 25. And Dublin content just to keep that clock running. Elias set under center. Takes the snap, he's going to pitch it to Rudolph towards the left side, following his blockers towards the left sideline. Bowls over one man and crosses the 30-yard line before he finally scampers out of bounds.
I love seeing Spencer Hawley, the big nose tackle in the backfield for the Gales. He doesn't move very quickly. He doesn't look like he's going to come up with too much of a block, and then he just throws a Miramonte, a Matador defender out of his way. 285 pounds, 6'5" coming at you. I wouldn't put up much of an effort, I don't think, against him either, Joe. That is a beast.
Yeah, a huge blocker in the backfield, you know, similar to the kind of offensive trickery that the 49ers have put into play from time to time as well in the NFL. They get set here. It says 2nd down and 2 from the 33, and they hand it off. This time it's not Andre Rudolph.
Yeah, that's Daryl Millender into the ball game, giving Andre Rudolph perhaps the night off. He certainly has had enough of a performance here today to merit player of the game consideration.
And Millender gained a yard, setting up 3rd and 1 from the 34-yard line. 8:43 and counting left to play here in the 4th quarter. They bring it up to the line again. They take the snap. It's a keeper by Elias, getting pushed from behind. He pushes the scrum forward and trying to see with the spot. It's awfully close.
Yeah, it depends on which line judge you're going off of. It's the one to our side, Joe. It looks like he does have enough for the 1st down.
And they're going to stop, and are they going to measure? Well, the man holding the stick has 1st down indicated.
And we have an official's time for a measurement.
So now they go for the measurement. It looked like he had enough. As you mentioned, the 2 line judges were kind of offset, but the one on our side was the spot they went with. And it is enough for a 1st down.
1st down, Dublin.
Good job by Elias picking up the 1st down on 3rd and short there.
Elias picks up the yard that was needed. 1st and 10 for the Gales, just shy of the 36. Fans, if you're still hungry, half price.
So 1st and 10, clock moving to 8 minutes left to play.
Rudolph's back in the game.
They take and hand it off to Rudolph again. He fights towards the right side and gains about 2 yards on the play.
Andre Rudolph up the middle.
I was hoping we'd get a little bit of Daryl Millender, the sophomore, perhaps the heir apparent to Andre Rudolph after this season. But Coach Wade, deciding that a 14-point cushion is not enough, wants to go back to his senior bell cow and run this game away.
Yeah, coming up on 7.5 minutes left to play. I think it's the right call to try to just continue to control the pace and keep the ball out of the offensive hands of Miramonte.
No, I agree.
Taking the snap, they hand it off. It's Rudolph working towards the left side, following some blockers, breaking through tackle after tackle as he crosses the 45-yard line, gets up to about the 49-yard line and a 1st down.
Yeah, heck of an effort there by Miramonte's junior linebacker, Jonathan McDonald, who was being dragged by Rudolph for about 5 or 6 yards, but he would not let go. Had a hold of his jersey and was flat on his back and trying to bring him down, but Rudolph just wouldn't go down. Very impressive play by both players on that one.
They get set here from the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock now moves under 7 minutes left to play in the ball game.
And you know, if you're Andre Rudolph, you just want to bust one. He hasn't had any huge gainers of the day. You know he wants a chance to break one open right here.
With Elias set under center, he's going to hand it off to Rudolph, following his blockers through the middle, hit by a group of tacklers and brought down, but he still managed to eke out a yard to the 50-yard line.
Rudolph up the middle.
Yeah, good job by the Miramonte front line there, standing up to the much larger offensive line of the Gales for one of the few times we've seen today, them getting underneath the shoulder pads of the bigger linemen and preventing any sort of hole for Andre to run through.
So under 6.5 minutes left to play as the clock actually hits 6:20 and counting. 21-7. Dublin leads here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 9 from the 50-yard line. Taking the snap, they hand it off again. It's Rudolph working towards the left side, and he's not going to go down until he finally gets out of bounds. Just standing up the tacklers and pushing the pile forward as he got up to just about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker.
Clock does stop though, and we're looking at a 3rd down, so perhaps Miramonte can come up with a stop here. I expect them to go back to Rudolph, and if the Miramonte defense can make a play here, they'll get the ball back, and we still have 6 minutes left to go in this game. By no means is it over yet, Joe.
We'll see what Dublin does here. This is a time where they try to use Rudolph as a decoy. as they've done successfully so far in this game. But no, they're going to pitch it to Rudolph, working towards the right side. Has a good block up in front, but he stood up by a defender, and he's brought down near the line of scrimmage, and a 4th down upcoming.
That looked like Jonathan McDonald again, coming around on the outside. Number 10, the junior linebacker, didn't give up containment, wasn't allowing Rudolph to bounce it outside, and it's 4th down.
4th and 3 from the 44.
And Dublin looks like they might be subbing in here, and so we may see a punt as the clock moving under 5.5 minutes left to play here in the ball game. With that 2-touchdown lead, they may just try to let their defense take it away here.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by that play by Miramonte. They've been pounding it inside over and over and over again, and you expect that they run the outside pitch play that they'd be ready, and they weren't ready for it. Miramonte defense came up with a big stop, and we have a penalty from the back judge, it looks like.
And a delay of game, and that was intentional by Dublin. They just want to take as much time off the clock as possible. It stops with 5:09 left to play. They'll mark off the yardage, which really Dublin doesn't care about here. They're just going to get it kicked away and let their defense do the work. Thurman set to punt it away. Deutz is your man back deep to receive it. Thurman takes a high punt, goes to his right and gets away a good high punt. And Deutz going to make a fair catch. No, he lets it bounce, and it goes out of bounds just outside the 10-yard line as they spot him at about the 13. 5:01 left to play here, 21-7. Your score, Dublin up on Miramonte. And the Matador is going to have to try here, get something together.
Yeah, a long way to go for the Miramonte offense there. I'm a little surprised they didn't go after the punter there, but I think they were also trying to look out for a possible fake, and they just wanted to make sure that they retained possession. They do take over the 13-yard line, where they do have 87 yards to go to get it within 1 possession. A huge task ahead for the Miramonte Matadors to see if they're up to it. Looks like Zotti taking a direct snap again.
Well, he gets set in the backfield. He rolls out towards his right side, has some blockers down the right edge, jukes one man, then gets hit hard at the 15-yard line and brought down.
Zotti Williams hit immediately by Jimmy Rojas.
Second time we've seen Zotti Williams line up in the backfield and take the direct snap. Unfortunately, it's a minimal gain, and the clock is rolling.
Yeah, clock moving towards 4.5 left to play. Sheehan set in the shotgun. Sending a man in motion, it's G. Now taking the snap, Sheehan with pressure throws towards the left side. Williams makes the catch, working down the left side, has a blocker up across the 30-yard line. He's finally brought down, marked at the 34.
That was a nice play there. Sheehan faked a screen pass to his right, came back to his left to his big senior receiver, Zotti Williams, who took the ball upfield, followed his blockers, and picked up a first down for the Matadors.
First and 10 at the 34.
Clock moving to 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. They get set with the first and 10. Sheehan takes a snap and whistles, and a flag comes in from the sideline.
Penalty markers are down.
I think Williams might have flinched again at the top of the formation. I think that's going to set the Matadors back 5.
And no, they're actually going to call the encroachment.
Excuse me, Joe. Yeah, it was encroachment penalty on Dublin. So an extra free 5 yards for Miramonte.
So they're set here, coming up on 4 minutes left to play. First and 5 from their own 39-yard line. Sheehan taking the shotgun snap, throwing towards his right side, and he's able to complete it to G. G hit hard as he had a first down plus a bit more, but G is down and injured.
Yeah, that's Tristan Elias came up from the cornerback position and just laid out Eric G. But credit G, he knew the hit was coming, and he was able to hang on to the ball and collect the first down. Let's hope he's okay. He certainly took a shot on that one.
So it's an official's timeout here. Clock stop with 3:52 left to play the ball game. 21-7 is your score. Dublin leading. And certainly hope that Eric G is okay.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for high school football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
So G able to get up and run off under his own power, so he certainly seems to be okay. Good news there for Miramonte, as it'll be a first and 10 set from the 49-yard line here. Taking the snap, Sheehan dropping back, pump fakes. Now airing it out deep over the middle, and he is going to overthrow Zadi Williams. A late flag comes in. And boy, you know, I mean, I saw the contact. I just don't know if that was a catchable ball.
Yeah, I saw the contact as well, Joe, and I was waiting for the referee to throw the flag, and I thought the statute of limitations had expired on that penalty, but he did throw the flag. Maybe he had a hard time getting it out of his pocket. But the hanky does hit the hardware, and it's a first down again for Miramonte.
And so the pass interference play called. And a big break there for the Matadors. As they march off the 15-yard penalty and set at the 36-yard line.
Foul against Dublin. First and 10 at their own 36. Dublin 36.
So a first down shotgun snap. Sheehan pump fakes, looking to his left. Now has to step up. He tucks it. He's going to run it himself, and he is pulled down from behind and brought down right around the 32-yard line.
Sheehan run down by Nick.
Sheehan able to get a few yards on the play, but the clock continues to roll here. Sheehan quickly gets his guys set up to the line.
Coming up on 3:15 left to play in this ball game. Sheehan set with a 2nd and 7 as he takes a snap, fakes a handoff. Now jumping back, firing towards the right side. Ball is intercepted. It's Dennis Barber once again. Barber working towards the left sideline, knocked down. And Dennis Barber might have just put the icing on the cake of this victory.
I think he absolutely did, Joe. Dennis Barber again, what a heady ball player. He was playing in the outside linebacker spot, and he was reading the quarterback's eyes, drifting and shadowing Zadi Williams as he head for the sideline, and was just sitting there waiting for the ball, and here it comes. He snatches it right over the air for the 2nd interception of the day. He's been doing everything, all the unsung stuff, the running, the blocking. He caught the touchdown pass, 2 interceptions, probably got 6 tackles. Unbelievable unsung performance for the senior linebacker.
And so 3:01 left to play. Dublin now just going to try to run the clock down. Elias set under center, taking the first down snap. They hand it off to Rudolph. Has a seam, and Rudolph has a big run. Going across the 30, to the 20, to the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown. 61 yards for Rudolph.
61 yards.
And there's the capper that we were waiting for, Joe. We knew he'd been bottled up, you know, within reason for most of the game. He's probably got almost 200 yards without getting a run of over 20 yards. And you knew he was going to pop one eventually, and there it was following the interception. 61 yards. Andre Rudolph.
You know, the interception by Barber was a backbreaker. I don't know what you want to call that. That just absolutely, I mean, obviously this game seemed like it was going to be out of reach. That just makes it definite. As Sataro getting set to kick the extra point. A bad snap. It's picked up. And Elias rolling out, working towards the sideline, throwing it towards the back of the end zone.
Guess who?
It's Barber, and he's in.
The 2-point conversion is good.
He does it all. He blocks. That's his second scoring play in receiving. Number 5, Dennis Barber. I've been fairly impressed with this young man. Number 5 on the 2-point conversion off of the botch snap.
So 2-point conversion, it's good, 29-7. Even when it goes bad for Dublin, they're able to make it good in that situation. So it's tough in this situation. You know, we get to the point towards the end of the game, we got to think about who the player of the game is going to be, and we'll have that conversation soon, but, you know, there's 2 guys you really have to debate.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really hard to take it away from Andre Rudolph. He's certainly been a man amongst boys out there today, but I do have a little bit of a crush on Dennis Barber, as you might imagine.
He's done.
He does it all out there.
Yeah, he's made the big plays, and he's done the things that have set up Andre Rudolph, so certainly big decision for us here.
Yeah, he's a football player. Dennis Barber is a football player.
Rudolph unofficially 48 carries for 322 yards and 3 touchdowns.
48 carries?
Here's a short kick by Tataro. It's going to be reeled in. Was that Sheehan again? Waiting to see it. No, it's actually Eric G. And he was able to catch it at the 39-yard line.
39-yard line for Miramonte.
2:49 left to play here. 29-7, Miramonte trails. They'll be set with the 1st and 10, and they're certainly going to need a miracle here.
Andre Rudolph certainly going to be sleeping well tonight. 48 carries unofficially.
Sheehan set here, 1st and 10. Takes a shotgun snap, dropping back. Looking, now he fires towards the left side. Ball is caught, and it is Zadie Williams breaking through tacklers down the sideline and finally knocked out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 40.
Nice ball there from Nick Sheehan along the left-hand sideline, going right back to his big senior receiver for the 1st down. Good job by both players.
And you love that Williams did get out of bounds there. They get set up at the 40-yard line. Shotgun snap for Sheehan, dropping back, fires towards his left side. Williams again. He's wrestled down. This time he's pulled in bounds. His momentum was up to the 36-yard line. And looks like we might have a timeout taken by Miramonte.
Timeout, Miramonte.
So first timeout taken by Miramonte here in the 2nd half.
Stay tuned for the post-game show, the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we will select our player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this great ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Saturday, October 20th.
2.5 minutes remain here in this ball game.
Also want to remind fans about a fundraiser.
29-7, Dublin leading over Miramonte.
Tuesday, September 25th. Come on out to Rigatoni's and support the Music Boosters.
And credit Miramonte here. They're out in the shotgun and they're not giving up. They certainly want to try to get another score on the board before the clock hits 0.
So 2nd down and 7 from the 36-yard line. Sheehan takes a snap, dropping back, pump fakes, looking. Now he fires deep down the left sideline, has a man, just overthrows Zadie Williams. Williams had a step, could have had the touchdown there.
Yeah, those two had a really good play going on. The pump fake and the stop and go from Zadie Williams. And both defenders bit, and Zadie blew right by the safety. Unfortunately, Nick Sheehan, which has happened a couple times on this evening, he overthrows his big receiver, and it falls harmlessly incomplete.
It's 3rd down and 7 now. Ball is still the 36-yard line. Sheehan set with 2:24 left to play in the ballgame, taking the shotgun snap, feels the pressure, throws it over, and it's complete to Levis, and Levis works down the sideline. And did he get enough to get out of bounds? And they did say he did get out of bounds and get the 1st down as well.
Yeah, nice check down there from Sheehan to the junior Levis. 1st down and out of bounds.
So set from the 29, they go 1st down and 10. Sheehan quickly with a fake handoff off the shotgun snap, looking deep, going towards the middle, and that ball is overthrown. He was trying to reach Deutz, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, too many men in the pattern on that one. It looked like, at least in the same play, both players on the slots ran posts, and they met, and there was 4 defenders there. Sheehan just overthrew all 8 guys on the field on that play.
So clock stop with 2:07 left to play. 2nd down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Sheehan set in the shotgun. Dropping back. Looking, now he's going to quickly dump it off. And a nice catch by Eric G, one-handed behind him, is able to work his way forward for a 1st down. They stop the clock to move the chains.
Wow, good for Eric G. He was down on the field hurt not too long ago. He pops back up and makes a big one-handed grab, it looked like, cradling it to his body and picking it up around another 1st down.
On the shotgun snap for Sheehan, dropping back. Looking towards his left, he fires down the left sideline. Ball caught by Connor Bruin. He's hit hard, but hangs on for a 1st down inside the 10.
Good job by Connor Bruin, bracing himself, but still catching the ball. He knew he was going to take a lick from the strong safety, and he did by Jimmy Ross, but he held on, another 1st down.
1st and goal, ball spotted at the 8-yard line.
Nick Sheehan certainly has an extra bit of oomph on the ball when he needs it.
Sheehan takes a snap, dropping back. Good protection. He fires towards the left corner of the end zone. Nobody home. Incomplete.
Yeah, I think there. Oh, we got a flag on the play.
We do have a flag there. And a hold is going to be called against the defense, it looks like.
Wow. That was certainly a ball that was clearly over his head. but apparently the hold maybe prevented that from being a completion.
We have a defensive holding penalty against the Gales. That'll make up half the distance to the goal. It'll still be first down.
So put the ball inside the 5-yard line with the penalty. They get set first and goal. Taking the shotgun snap, Sheehan's going to pitch at the right side. It's Connor Bruin following blockers out towards the outside edge. He dives forward, gets towards the goal line, gets hit hard, and they go down out of bounds.
Oh, let's hope those guys are okay. That was a tremendous collision right near the pylon.
There's one man down for Dublin. Trying to see who that was.
I thought I saw 7. He's down. He's hurt.
It looked like it could have been close to a head-to-head collision. Don't want to speculate, but without the benefit of a replay, can't be entirely sure.
Did you get the number of the one who caught the ball?
It was Bruin, Connor Bruin, who
and he's okay.
He was okay, but it was
the defender that's down. Bruin got a good block from from Eric G on the sidelines and almost scored, but the huge collision at the pylon. And the defender, we still don't have a number on him. We'll get that to you as soon as we can. Is still down on the ground.
Yeah, looking to see who it was. Still no indication of who the player is that's down. They are sitting him up. Still waiting to see who the player is.
Is it Elias?
Just too many bodies around. And he's up.
It is Elias.
It is Elias, you're right. But he appears to be okay.
Tristan Elias being helped out.
Tristan Elias has had a real strong ball game, controlling the offense, and a term we use in the Bay Area a lot, game manager, at least on the San Francisco side. He got his bell rung on that play. Let's hope he's okay.
From the 1 for Miramonte.
Get back to the play here. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1. Miramonte set. Sheehan taking the shotgun snap, throwing towards the left side, and diving in towards the end zone was Deutz, and he's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Miramonte.
Good job by Miramonte, not giving up, getting a touchdown here with just over a minute remaining. A little inside route by the outside receiver, cut inside the slot receiver, got a little bit of a block and a touchdown there to cut it to 16 going on 15.
As I get set, here's a kick by Jamie Howells. It's up and it's good.
And the extra point attempt by Jamie Howells is good. 1:18 remaining in the game.
So 29-14 is your score.
14.
1:18 left to play here in this ball game, and Miramonte's got to get at the onside kick from here. You see Josh Nabita taking snaps on the sideline, so he would come in to probably take a few kneel downs.
Yeah, that was certainly was a scary hit, Joe, and a hush has sort of come out of this crowd. It definitely took from a joyous mood to a sort of a sad mood. Everybody's holding their breath and hoping that Tristan Elias, the leader, the senior quarterback, is going to be okay.
Yeah, he's standing on the sideline talking to the training staff.
Oh, is he? Oh, good.
You see him over near the 20-yard line. He walked off under his own power, and it seems like they're just talking it over with him and seeing if there is anything to worry about as far as a head-to-head hit. As you saw it coming around the corner, Connor Bruin did lower his shoulder and dive forward, just fighting to get toward that end zone. And of course, the defenders got in there, and afraid Elias might have got his head in there. Well, back to the game. Here's the kickoff. It's going to be a short one. They're going to try to get it near the sideline, but it goes out of bounds. And the flag finally comes in.
And the kickoff goes out of bounds.
So here it's just going to be maybe a play or two before they try to take a knee. 2 timeouts do remain for Miramonte.
So a solid effort here by the Dublin Gales. Hopefully they can run out the clock. Don't see the victory formation just yet.
So they got sad. They got Millender deep. He takes the handoff from Nobita, and he's going to work out towards the left edge. Trying to use a stiff arm. He fights his way forward. And he got wrestled down.
And exactly what you don't want is stepping out of bounds there to stop the clock. The young running back trying to get an extra yards apparently stepped out with his left foot as he was going to the ground. But they do wind the clock here, so maybe it was just a brief stoppage.
2-yard gain officially, and so yeah.
Now they're stopping it again.
And the referees are talking something over. So there's a conversation with the Dublin sideline. Still continuing. And looks like they're trying to put additional time on the clock here. Looked like they signaled 104. And actually 107 is what they'll put on the clock. So now Dublin lines up once again. It's a handoff. It's Millender hitting the backfield again, trying to fight his way to the right. He's brought down.
Millender, the ball carrier.
And
Miramonte certainly not giving up here. They forced a 3rd down and they call a timeout.
Timeout, Miramonte.
If I'm not mistaken, they still have 2 remaining after this play, or do they have just 1 remaining after this play? But still, it's 3rd down and long.
so Miramonte's still not giving up here. They do have an opportunity. They can stop here, timeout, and really they got to be thinking big play. Followed by onside kick, big play, 2-point conversion.
I think they're just thinking about the next play here, but they're certainly going to have to put together a string of straight flushes that they want to pull this one out. But you got to give them credit for fighting until the final whistle here. And they put together a nice long drive, got the touchdown and the extra point to cut it to a 2-score game. And they've come out on defense and made 2 quick, nice plays on running plays by Dublin. Miramonte certainly not giving up, and you never know, anything can happen in this game.
3rd and 11 from the 34-yard line. 1:02 remains on the game clock. And Andre Rudolph is back in the backfield.
3rd and 11 from the 34.
And actually they're going to hand it off to Barber. Barber working his way towards the left side, fights his way forward. And that will be Miramonte's final timeout burned here. 55 seconds remain now.
When you force a punt, anything can happen. You know, it's a bad snap. Perhaps Miramonte brings the house after him and rushes 11, trying to get a block punt in there. We could see this game get a lot closer than I think a lot of these Dublin fans would like it to be. Still 55 seconds left.
See what they do here. Certainly do think they'll try to rush the punter, as you said.
Joe, what is a gale? Is it a bird or is it a gust of wind?
Honestly, I don't know. It's
We're gonna have to look that one up before we sign off tonight. Maybe we can find the principal. It is a bird, according to Lee, our camera person.
Corey Thurman to
Thank you, Lee.
punt for Dublin.
So Corey Thurman in to punt it away. I'm going to brush up on my mascots during the downtime. Thurman getting the snap. Deutz back to receive, and Thurman just able to get it away. Deutz going to have a chance to return this one as he takes it from his own 25-yard line. Gets a seam as he gets across the 35, down the 40. He's down the left sideline, has some blockers.
He's gone, Joe.
He's got some space.
Oh.
And just wrapped up from behind as he's pulled down.
I thought he was gone. I didn't even see that guy came out of nowhere to make the play. A touchdown-saving tackle by Thurman.
Big return that time by Marshall.
Yeah, the punter, the last line of defense there.
Yeah, that was the punter, wasn't it? Corey Thurman, the senior, came out and made a play, but Miramonte knocking on the door once again.
A 54-yard return for Miramonte.
So the big return.
16-yard line, 1st and 10.
Picked up a couple of big blocks on that return, was able to bounce it outside and go tiptoe down the sidelines. I thought he was going to score, but Thurman came over and prevented that for at least one play.
So see if Sheehan's able to get a quick strike here and make it a ball game. Sheehan takes a high snap, dropping back, looking. Now he fires a high arcer towards the back of the end zone. Incomplete as he overthrew Zoddy Williams.
Incomplete pass intended for Zoddy Williams.
Yeah, Zoddy had a step on his defender, but they just weren't on the same page on that play. It was a deep post pattern towards the back of the end zone, and Sheehan just overthrew him, pardon me.
Yeah, Sheehan just had a little too much air into that one as it went into the back of the end zone. Sheehan has had a bit of trouble with overthrowing his receivers this evening. Taking a shotgun snap here on 2nd down. Dropping back, quick throw, looking towards the right corner of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Eric G.
Touchdown, Miramonte.
24 seconds remain. It's now 29-20.
Great pass there from Sheehan to G. Hit him on a deep corner route. G looks it in and tiptoes the sidelines for the 6.
29-20, pending the extra point.
I think they'll go for the extra point here just to make it a one-possession ball game. Still 24 ticks left on the clock.
Like it said, here's a snap. The kick is up, and a very important extra point is good.
And the extra point attempt is good. So with 24 seconds remaining in the game.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We still have 24 seconds to go.
Miramonte 21.
Yeah, an onside kick. It's going to come down to that. So they're really going to see if their special teams going to come up with a big play here. They haven't tried really any sort of onside kick. It's always been the little shot over the front line and trying to chase it down. Most of those have gone out of bounds. So you wonder if they'll just try that traditional 10-yard onside kick. You just never know what can happen.
Yeah, Dublin's got their hands team out there. All hands on deck for the Gales. But Miramonte, credit to them. They certainly haven't given in at all.
So Jamie Howell is going to be set to kick this one away. And does go for the onside kick. They're working towards it. A Dublin player dove on it. No, it's still a free ball, but they do signal Dublin football, and so that is going to wrap it up. And now flags come in as there's a fight on the other side of the field. So something you hate to see at the end of a contest. Tempers boiling over, and we'll see who they're going to call it against.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought league opener for these two teams. A very clean game. Got a little bit heated there on the sideline after that onside kick, and we do have flags.
So they call the personal foul against Miramonte.
Yeah, I saw they were just jawing back and forth, and they were wrestling a little bit post-play. Just got a little bit out of a hand, but for the most part, this game has been incredibly clean and well played by both teams.
So 15 yards towards the end of the play that don't entirely matter. You just want to see a knee taken by this Dublin offense.
First and 10 at the 36.
So Novita's going to be your quarterback to take the knee. And there's the knee taken by Novita.
Josh Novita takes a knee.
And that'll be enough to do it.
And that is the final play of the game.
Your final score, 29-21.
Your final score,
Dublin wins
29.
over Miramonte.
21.
And ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay tuned to the PlayOnSports.com post-game show. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show, and we'll have an interview with our player of the game. That's upcoming in just a few moments. Once again, Dublin has defeated Miramonte 29-21 on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
For the Gales, they will be back in action next week.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And here with our player of the game on PlayOnSports.com, it's Andre Rudolph. Andre, unofficially, we had you for over 300 yards. You just really did not seem to tire out there. How did you remain so effective?
Just keep calm and it's a mental thing not to be tired. And I kept telling myself I wasn't tired. I'm going to keep pounding it, and one run I was going to break it, and that's what I did.
So you had a great game. You know, we were debating back and forth. Obviously, you had the stats for player of the game. Dennis Barber, though, he had a lot of contributions. I mean, what did he really mean to your team out there?
Oh, Dennis, he's a hell of a player. I love Dennis. He's a good role player. He can play anything on the field, pretty much anything. And he's a very good player, very.
So a big win in your first league game. How important is that to get that big win out of the way?
Big win. Definitely against Miramonte. It's a big win for Coach Wade, and that's what we did it for him.
And so you guys look ahead towards the rest of your league schedule, and when you see the teams you're going up against and that running game you have, I mean, do you guys ever worry about the fact that it's just so reliant on the running game, or do you think you're going to be effective?
Nah, we just do what's best for the team and keep running the ball, and pounding it. That's the best. If we want to do play action off it, we'll do it and get a first down and keep running the ball and pounding and pounding.
Andre Rudolph, our play of the game here on PlayOnSports.com. Stay tuned. We'll have our final thoughts after these messages.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And on the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, Joe Lahiff along with Todd Allen. And Todd really saw two different styles of play. And it did get close at the end, but really the run game was dominant for Dublin High.
Oh, absolutely. And what a performance from Dublin. I mean, they got down early. They were down 7-0, and it looked like the high-powered Nick Sheehan run offense of Miramonte was going to at least give them a lot of trouble on their defense. And then the defense came up, made some stops, and then it was all number one from then on out.
Yeah, Andre Rudolph, unofficially we had him down for 300-plus yards rushing on about 48 carries. Again, unofficially, you check your local papers really for the official stats. But great performance for Andre. Of course, we mentioned Dennis Barber. A great performance for Dennis once again.
Oh, absolutely. Dennis Barber, he does it all. You know, he had 2 interceptions today. He had the 2-point conversion that he caught. He caught the only touchdown of the game that was receiving, and he must have made 7 or 8 tackles. Certainly a jack-of-all-trades player, and they got a couple of good ones over there at Dublin.
Yeah, with Andre Rudolph's success, it was all set up by Dennis Barber's big plays. And really, you know, you look forward for a team like Dublin. They're able to grind it out. I mean, is that something you think they can sustain throughout the rest of this season?
We're going to find out. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know about 48 carries a night, but he seemed fine in the post-game interview you did with him. He seemed like he had a little bit of energy left, so maybe he's going to be ready to do it again tomorrow. But that's tough to sustain over a long season, but it certainly is a offense that works, and we saw a lot of it tonight.
You see the Miramonte High School Matadors. Offense didn't quite work for them. They couldn't quite establish their rhythm. What do you see for them going forward?
Well, I saw a lot of things that I liked. You know, they have a lot of players on the outside that can do some things, like G and Zani. They have playmakers all over the field, and I was really impressed with the confidence of the quarterback. So I see nothing but good things ahead for them. They're 2 strong teams in a very strong league, and I think we'll be seeing them come postseason, both of them.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on PlayOnSports.com. Joe Lahiff here along with Todd Allen, Sonny Bopariah, producer, and Lee Craner, our camera operator. We thank you all for joining us, and be sure to join us next week for more Friday Night Football.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.